Okay. Look, I'm in Miami motherfucking with him, honey. With my house dress on, honey, and a bad hair day and a wrap, okay? And these motherfucking shades, just for all the motherfucking shade and the shystiness that then went on today, this evening, on the Real Households of Atlanta. Like I cannot and I will not. I think my bond's unraveling. I just can't, y'all. I had to put on some good shades for this shit. I look a motherfucking fool, and that's just what the fuck they gave tonight. I cannot believe what went down. And that further let me know that I am motherfucking over the way, to me, a lot of the hoes are being, to me, exploited. Yes, they signed their name on the dotted line and they knew what the fuck they were signing up for. But when this shit first began, it was not to this extreme. And when it gets to the point where to set up or get a scene going or whatever the fuck you getting popping, somebody falls and bitches are being threatened by big grown ass trade and shit. And call it... It is one motherfucking thing for them bitches to call each other bitches amongst themselves. You know what I'm saying? Them are women. But for that motherfucker to be like little bitch and call them bitches and be so motherfucking aggressive. Like who the fuck you think you are? And that deep voice salamander that's supposed to be the auntie or whatever. I feel bad that she fell down and it's unfortunate. But y'all ain't gonna tell me that that bitch is not off her motherfucking rocker. Cause that bitch is 2 shades shy of it. That bitch was motherfucking drunk and she looked like she was motherfucking tweaking. Okay? And I believe that motherfucker was tweaking too. What the fuck? Anywho, y'all. Tonight on the hoes, like, it starts where they go back and this and that and other and they gonna play the little game and shit. And please let me have a moment. Please let me have a moment with Sheree and Portia. Portia, bitch. Sheree, bitch. Why the fuck was y'all taking drinks when it was all about the golden shower? What? Now, first, Sheree, I'm going to address you, bitch, because if you was somewhere getting the fuck pissed on, bitch, I would think it was for coin or some shit like that. Bitch, I would think you would have that motherfucking chateau done, bitch, if you was getting pissed on. At least, at the very least, even though it's still just as bad, but if that's what the fuck makes you happy, Portia, bitch, do it. But at least that bitch was able to get her motherfucking, I think it was a Bentley or some shit like that, which don't make it no fucking better. The fuck? Oh, hot, woo. Bitch, look, I'm sick of these motherfucking thirsty ass whores doing all of this. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I just wouldn't have been able to go on with that would have been me the whole time. Like, bitch, what? Did you hear the question, bitch? Next, the bitch is gonna say, I've never had shit on me. I have motherfucking shit on me. You bitches gonna be drinking then? I cannot. You bitches gone and drink while I'm sitting in the corner vomiting thinking about you pissed on bitches, okay? Oh, Jesus. Just when I thought the urinal was by her motherfucking self, it looks to me like there's a stable of motherfucking urinals. And I am just outdone. Anywho. So they having the whole shit. Now, Candy's there. She stayed, you know what I'm saying? She pregnant. She stayed back and all of that. And, Kim somewhere being just, glad to be there. And she's already said, for the security and the safety, which I agree with her. I agree, but I do. Kim, please don't go on anything. Please don't go on anything. Like anything outside of your husband and your children, you can't, it's just not for you. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being devoted to your husband and this and that. No, there's nothing wrong with that in, following your faith or whatever. But it's just like this. The same faith you had when they asked you to go, I asked you to be on the show, is the same one you should have had before you said no and after you said no. Like you cannot motherfucking sign your name on the dotted line, for instance. Oh, we got this little show, and every now and again you might have to, twerk or do some shit like that, but it's okay. You still have your integrity. Oh, well, that's all I got to do. Okay, and I'm going to still in Jesus' name. No, you're not going to do that. You knew what you were signing up for. Now, I will admit that with Kim, it is refreshing, but the bitch is getting on my nerves, and is my scarf riding back, Jesus? Okay. But she's getting on my motherfucking nerves lightweight. Okay. Now, moving on along, I just had to bring that up. So they all there, and Candy's like, well, you know, whatever. And at one point, they kind of sitting or whatever. And the dude says something about her being pregnant or whatever the case. Congratulations, whatever it may have been. You know, and Candy was like, oh, okay, thank you. You know how she does. You know, like, okay. And the motherfucker got upset with how she said it. Which, bitch, as far as you know, you motherfucking visiting where they're staying at. But how motherfucking dare you, bitch? Who raised you, alley cat ass motherfucker? Bitch, please. Over there being aggressive with a pregnant woman. The fuck? And then your motherfucking draws and this and that and other, which wasn't nothing but ding, 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 honey. I'm the motherfucking trade. Get the fuck out of her. I'm so motherfucking sick of that. And that was the first thing you did. When Kenya snapped at you, you know, because you was paying a lot of attention to Sheree, and Kenya had already kind of been like, well, okay, I'll take a bit of that tonight. Now, I ain't gonna marry that shit, but I'll take a bit, you know. But you clearly had your eyes on Sheree or whatever. However, okay, that's fine. You know that might be more your speed. You know, I don't know. Sheree, he don't look like he got no coins, bitch. But maybe y'all can get some of them bricks and cement and just lay them together. I don't know, bitch. I don't know. Clearly, a bitch that has had the yellow shout, bitch. So that's the first thing, and it's like, you know, Candy's like, oh well, let me stop, let me back. Oh, she shouldn't have felt uncomfortable. Of course, Kim is picking up on it like, yeah, that's just, you know what I mean? Like, she instantly, I thought she was going to go into the kumbaya and start praying or whatever, but she was right. Both of them was feeling it motherfucking right. Now, everybody else that had drinks, and when you do that, you're not able to survey the shit like you need to. You're a little bit looser. Now, Cynthia had already said, I'm going to pull back on the alcohol. You know. Well, you know it, everybody's in a hot tub. Portia's up, you know, giving body and thong and standing up and twerking with her ass crack out. And, you know, I'm just like, girl, it's not needed, girl. You know, you ain't even got to have a thong on. Everybody know you got an ass, you know. But I guess with asses like Phaedra's and the rest of the asses, you like, well, I got to do a little extra because this is a plethora of ass out here this evening. You know, so you do that shit, and then the guy you talking to, he kindly goes and skates right on into a fall, and I just want to go and catch the dip. But I'm going to chop his ass, honey, because that was not a death drop here. That was some real ridiculous shit. He just, what the fuck? But at least he was acting like he had some sense. You know. Meanwhile, everybody's kind of talking. At one point, the auntie comes in and she's 2 or 3 sheets to the wind. And of course, Kim being the moderator of everything that everybody drinks, she instantly says, oh, well, you know, she drunk. But you can see she was. But I'm sorry, but the bitch was tweaked out some other shit as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to just be real talk. And that's my opinion. So, something said about the aunt or whatever, he thinks, and he's like, y'all ain't, you know, he goes to, ain't no bitch gonna disrespect, and this and that and other and the third, and this motherfucker's all in his feelings. So, of course, now, here's where I want to pause for a minute and have a conversation. Now, you got some people that feel like Kenya spearheaded that shit, you know, and then you got others that feel like, you know, Kenya did right by asking him to leave. And I'm going to have to say, I'm right on the line and say, I'm glad she asked him to leave. I have to agree with her and say that had she have not, it would have gotten much worse than that. And who knows who else he would have hurt. You seen how she backed her ass up and said, security, you know. But with that said, He was too a crazy motherfucker from the gate. But then he had already done some shit. But Kenya, you know that you like to drum shit up, honey. So that's why I'm on the line of that. But I do feel like somebody needed to say the motherfucker had to go. Now here's my thing. I'm trying to understand why Phaedra and Faye is okay with the shit that's going on. I'm trying to understand that. Faye, let me have a moment with you. Your motherfucking ass is clouded as fuck. Now, bitch, when it comes to safety and safety of others and even those that you pretend that you like, bitch, even your motherfucking self, bitch, you got to lose sight of the fact that you hate the fuck out of this bitch, Kenya, and use your motherfucking head, bitch. You had the nerve to say, I didn't have a problem with you. But bitch, when he said any bitch in the presence of y'all, including that will not, won't not, broke bitch Sheree, that meant all you bitches. So that was disrespect from the door. So I'm not having it with you. I'm not having it with you. And I'm telling you, I feel one coming on. I feel it festering. And I see that you're going to have to get red like Phaedra of Christmas past. Like, bitch, a couple of years ago when you first came, you know, I see I'm going to have to reach back, retch, and get your ass. Because, bitch, that's the point. When whether you like a bitch or not, you have to stand in solidarity with another woman. I'm not saying you got to stand with a bitch when a bitch is wrong, but clearly in a situation like that, and when he says that with all of you all there, you know, bitch, I can't. And even on the strength of you and Candy still having somewhat a friendship, bitch, her being pregnant and all that just wasn't cool to me. You know, he violated all the way around the board. Yes, Kenya's a messy bitch. That's nothing new. That's nothing new. All you bitches can be messy. Shit, he's showing the fuck dead. You watching it? Mm-hmm. Right. So, he's in there watching it. So, with that said, I don't get that. You clearly dealing with an animal. This motherfucker got a problem. This motherfucker is a woman beater. But here's my whole thing. All you motherfucking whores, all but except Candy, because she's in a delicate situation. None of you bitches. This is how I know that this shit is nothing like real. Shit get real sometimes. But had it have been me and my sister, cousin, friend, or anybody that I deem to be close to me or something like me or whatever, we cool, bitch, we'd have been in the kitchen with knives and motherfucking bottles and shit, fucking his ass up. You know, and I know the shit got out of control. And then this crazy motherfucker, when you asked to leave, now they did say to his auntie, look, he did that. And she did immediately say, well, I'm going to have him, you know, leave. He pushed her down. Right. And knocked her out for a few seconds. Really? So, but she was also under the influence of something. So, it, you know, it looked like marble floors. So she really could have been hurt badly. You know, and this, I just can't. And when he goes to tell her, this motherfucker says, little bitches, motherfucker, I'd have broke a bottle so quick and cut your goddamn eye out, bitch. That's what you need to know. See, I know you motherfucking woman beating motherfuckers never run up on the right bitch. You never do. I'm not never thinking I can whoop a man because a man is stronger than a woman. But bitch, what I am going to think is that I'm way more cunning than you, bitch. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to get your ass away from me. So yeah, break that bottle and cut your goddamn eye out, bitch. You was in that motherfucker with them women. And let me say this also to Andy and the motherfucking security. You slow motherfuckers. When he first said the first bitch, when he first did the first thing, he should have never got the chance. And yes, Kenya somewhat, briefly was kind of in the midst of that, but she had really kind of backed out when she really should have. And the reason why I say that is because she should have immediately went to security. But see, they watched that shit play out. Because why? Andy don't give a fuck about y'all. All you bitches could have been cut up and hurt in that motherfucker. It's just good TV for him. It's good coin for that bitch. Anywho. So, the motherfucking security was late to the motherfucking gate. Then that fat swollen motherfucker, he want to run up like, motherfucker, where was you at first, bitch? Kiss my motherfucking asses. You bitches better start worrying about you, because Andy's security ain't giving a fuck about you. And please know that he ain't giving a fuck about y'all either. Okay? So y'all keep on clucking and doing all this bullshit for his motherfucking ass to live good or whatever. Keep on, bitch. If that's what's clever, get it. And for the bitch who will say right now, but they getting coin, bitch, fuck a coin. Bitch, I'd rather motherfucker suck dick for the rest of my life for $20 than to be put in the position that they in. The fuck? Anyway, I'm just saying. Because I think it was disgusting how that went. I felt bad for old girl with the deep voice. She's weird as fuck. You shouldn't have brought them in the play. Which, here's the whole thing in a nutshell. Because we know that this is scripted reality. They wanted that shit to go on. Portia, stop being so motherfucking thirsty just because you out of town trying to turn up. And the rest of y'all, fuck that. That was not cool. That was not fucking cool. Now, had Portia had one gentleman to come, okay, that's one. She's fucking with him. Bitch, keep him out there with you, bitch. Not in here where we might be undressed or whatever the fuck we doing. But not these rowdy motherfuckers that just happen to stroll up with this bitch who y'all already know seems like an unstable bitch. And then she would bring somebody from her family and then be like, okay, come on. And again, I have to say this, Kenya, you was all right with it. Y'all was all okay with it. For the most part, but except Kim and of course, Candy was sitting back there. So y'all, this shit was fucked up to me. Now we have all this shit to go on. And apparently, when she got from the hospital or whatever, she's trying to get back in. She comes back to the door as they in there kikiing and cackling. With that said, let me say, Cynthia, if that was supposed to be your friend, when you realized that she was hurt, you should have went out there. But of course, you was trying to see about her. But Kenya feels some kind of way because, you know, people are thinking, well, maybe, you know, it should have went that far, yada, 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 whatever the fuck. Kenya don't want you to see about, say nothing or whatever, and y'all have y'all little words, and I don't even know what the fuck that was about. You know, I don't even know what the fuck that was about, and it's not worthy of a conversation. But you should have went with her and seen about her. She was taken out. She came as your guest. And immediately you said, I feel bad. And I don't know if that was because you wanted woo woo woo, and maybe that was what Kenya was picking up like, bitch, I'm gonna be the only woo woo woo, bitch. I don't know. Anyway, she comes back. They make fun of her, videotape her and shit. Now, Kim then already said, I'm the fuck up through, honey. That's all she needed to get her motherfucking kitten pumps and get the fuck up out of there and get home and go back to Mommyville. So, they don't immediately, the people tell her she has to go to a hotel, yada, yada, yada. She couldn't be there. And she had the nerve to come back with them, which further lets me know that this bitch is not rap tight. Period. And that bitch don't need to be in no more scenes. Okay, so they have one more day. They ride the Hummers and do all of this. And then at one point, Portia's going out on the date with the dude. They go out and do some little sugars or whatever. They telling her how to be. Cynthia that made some food, burned the bread. You know, they done cackled about the video and shit. And who was the bitch without drawers on? That I'm trying to understand why it's always some drawless bitch. Bitch, just because y'all got the same thing don't mean, okay, I can just take my drawers off and ain't nothing but women. Bitch, when did that become the anthem? I was women in here, bitch. Get your drawers off. I can't hate you whores. I cannot. I can't, y'all. I can't. Okay? And that's not just on the Atlanta hoes. That's on all the hoes. I can't, from Bad Girls Club on. Anywho, so they find out what went on. He tried to kiss her and this and that and other. So needless to say, you know, and she had already been told to don't say too much, don't run the man off and all of these things. And she had a good date. So I guess she gonna see him again. And y'all know every chance they got there was like, well, I hope he be around longer than the other one. Okay. Well, for that to happen, she's gonna have to stop trying to run after the trade. Anywho, so now we got Kim at home, speaking of trade, and her husband and the kids is at the park, and Kim saying some real shit. Ain't no love lost between her and Kenya. She ain't feeling Kenya at all. Kim's like, nah, I ain't for that. He's like, well, I'm glad I didn't want you to be there. What? What? And so it's like, okay, well, she's saying what's happening and he's listening and them and the kids and all of that. You know it's about to be a confrontation between Kenya and Kim. They gonna meet up and have their shit. Now, somewhere in the midst of that, Candy's at home saying what happened because she didn't went home. She went home. Kim went, then Candy went. And there's Brittany Hawkins. She went home. And she's telling him Ty's downstairs playing pool with his daughter. She's wanting to go home for Christmas or whatever she's saying she want to go home for, to be with her, see her mom, and she got a boyfriend. So, you know, they kind of getting along and kiki and cackling. Here comes Candy, and she's like, what y'all talking about? You know, kind of sits down, and Ty's like, well, how did it go between you and Phaedra? And she was like, well, you know, Phaedra kind of let her hair down, and they went to the spot where Phaedra took and opened her ass and all of that. But I'm still feeling some kind of way, and I think she needs to make it right between, you know, what she owes him. Okay, so that whole shit goes on. Candy says she got some new hair. You know, she's just like, I'm just not traveling no more since I'm pregnant. That's just out. You know, well, she shouldn't have went on that trip anyway. Because that really could have went bad. Like when he was getting jazzy with her, who's to say? Because clearly security is not going to get in shit. Who's to say that he wasn't getting ready to hit at her or something like that? I don't know. Anywho, yeah. Tell him to give you one out of there. Tell him to open that pack. Anyway, so, y'all, I'm having a hot flash, okay? I really am. Anyway, so that whole shit, they have the little conversation, yada, yada, yada. Now, somewhere in the midst of this is when Kim and Kenya's gonna come together. And y'all know I only talk about what stood out to me. They get together, they have something to eat, and Kim is just like, okay, well, you know, we can get together. Now, before that went on, wasn't gonna be no liquor. They didn't have their liquor license. You know, they couldn't have this, couldn't have that. You know, but they finally agreed on something and was talking, and she and Kim was like, basically, you spearheaded that shit. Basically, you know, which is what she's saying, like, you egged that shit on. Kenya said, I had him removed because of, you know, they should be glad I did it, yada, yada, this and that, another. Somewhere in the midst of this, there was the whole conversation, let me bring this up, that Faye and I believe it was Sheree was talking about, you know, causing attention and calling the police on, you know, the young man and this and that and other. And, you know, she really started going into what our kids, young black men have to deal with. And I'm like, so is she saying that when Kenya did that, that's reminiscent of that? You know, it was a conversation that was happening, but I don't know that what Kenya did should have brought that conversation on. It was one that needed to be had, and it was a touching conversation. And it's sad that as mothers with sons that are black, that you have to be fearful of that. But I just, you know, it was just how that went coincide together, and I was like, okay. Because clearly, however messy Kenya is, the shit had got out of hand. And again, y'all acting like this motherfucker didn't say bitch and he wasn't acting motherfucking aggressive. He was. He was. Simple as that. You know, So anywho, they going back and forth, of course, Kenya thinks Kim left because she just couldn't wait and it was convenient for her. Kim was standing her ground regardless and saying how she felt. And it was kind of like, they going back and forth. But Kim was like, I'm standing in mine. Basically, Kenya said, okay, I can deal with that because we can have this conversation and basically agree to disagree and call it that and have a grown conversation. We ain't never got to fully like each other, but we ain't got to be, funky bitch and this and that and other. So that's what I got out of that. Now, with that said, I am looking to see what happens between Kim and Kenya and the motherfucking reunion whenever that comes about, because I just kind of believe that they gonna always be bumping heads. And especially given that Kim was like, I don't know about working with her and this and that and other, and and my professionalism and that and so and so. Now, if you bring me Games of Thrones, bitch, girl, you said Games of Thrones. I did. I cackled when you said it. I cackled when you said it, and I tried to think of, were you gonna be a Dothraki or what was you gonna be, honey? I'm just trying to understand. Anywho, she's talking about that. They go to the scene where the husband is like, oh, he's throwing shade and yada yada, this and that and other. So I think there's gonna be some more heat between them. And I know for motherfucking sure that whenever the episodes come on and Kim got some shit to say, you better know that Kenya gonna be on Twitter tweeting like a motherfucker. Y'all, it was basically just that. It was fucked up. It was fucked up how this shit went. And I was just so bothered by it. I was so bothered by the delay with the security and all of that. I just was. I was bothered by the fact that it was okay with Faye and She Who Will Not. It was just, y'all, I'm not here for it. Now, y'all give me y'all opinion. My question is this. Do y'all feel like the motherfucker was aggressive or not? Should he have went? My second question is this. Do you feel like Kenya spearheaded the situation or whatever? I made it worse than what it was. Those are my questions. Because that seems to be the debate that everybody's having. And thirdly, honey, do you feel like security was motherfucking late? I'm just saying. Y'all answer that shit, leave that shit below. I done came on here looking a ragged mess, fucking with y'all. And that's my motherfucking review. I have already seen Love and Hip Hop for tomorrow. So I'm just going to do it tomorrow, not to spoil it for everybody. But I did put the video up on the Much Love from Nina Facebook page, okay? Y'all got a headache. That's why I'm like, okay. So anywho, y'all, I'm out of here. Much love. We can agree to disagree on that, okay? In the comments, we will agree to disagree. Much love.